Okay, stop. We just went through a lot of practical stuff right now. Let's focus on a bit of theory, shall we? See, when an agent is used, behind an agent that answers your question, it should be able to understand what you're asking, right? It should be able to understand your question. For that, you'll obviously need an LLM in a background. Now, when you're using N8N, because that's what Ishan was teaching us about, there was an LLM. So how do you connect that LLM through your platform? How do you connect ChatGPT or Gemini into your agent when you're building an agent? You're not going to create ChatGPT from scratch, right? For that, there are a few interfaces you should know about. Number one is application programming interface. What is this? Is basically it helps two softwares talk to each other. You have Google Maps in the Uber app, right? Well, that is done through what? APIs. The Uber app basically goes to Google Maps and like, bro, just give us Google Maps and we will pay you a bit of money. And yes, Uber has to pay a lot of money to Google to get access to Google Maps so that API can be used. Now, this is done through Google Console and all, but that is an example of API, how it is used. Now, there are a lot of different APIs for different websites, different softwares. But recently, Anthropic or Claude, which we were using, came out with something in 2024, if I'm not wrong. It's known as MCP, Model Context Protocol. Basically what Model Context Protocol does, or MCP does, rather than two softwares talking to each other, it's basically one AI and the software talking to each other. So normally what used to happen before is an AI to understand how to, let's say it has to send a mail through Gmail. It was very complex through API because API is made for a full developer to code and this. It was an old way. We needed something new for AI. Basically, if send mail is said, there will be a bunch of code pre-written. So AI doesn't have to write the code every single time. But in API, they had to do the full code again and again whenever it had to send mail. So here, ChatGPT just says send mail and the code is already there for it. So it doesn't have to write the full mail. Similar to how humans do. Humans have what? User interface. Just like MCP, application interface is another one. User interfaces, when we want to send mail, we go to Gmail and then we click on the button send mail. For AIs like ChatGPT, when they want to send a mail, they use this MCP server where this server has all the pre-written code of how to send a mail, how to get a mail, etc., etc. So they just use that code rather than writing the full code. Every time we use Gmail, we don't write the full code of Gmail, right? It's already pre-made for us. Similar to that. But on an API, it's way more complex. It needs to have full setup and all. Now, let me just show this example on N8N. See, this is an N8N, my N8N basically. Unlike Ishan's, I don't have a lot. But these are few things which I have set up. Now, if you go to this automated AI-powered blah, 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 blah. Here, if you notice, I have, okay, this is too complex, but let's zoom into one thing. Let's zoom into AI here, ChatGPT, okay? Now, this is overall an agent, the social media full thing as an agent, but this one thing is the API. Now, it's the OpenAI LLM, right? The full thing is an agent. Again, I'm reminding you, this full thing is an agent and this one thing is an LLM. Now, if you open this LLM, LLMs can also be called as models, by the way. It's an LLM is a type of model, keeping on that aside. But here, if you notice, our GPT-4o. But for that, I had to go to OpenAI and get the API for it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show my API, obviously. What I'm going to do for you guys is, if you check out the description for these videos, you will see how to get APIs for OpenAI, how to get APIs for Google, how to get APIs for Claude, and most of other ways of how to get APIs for each thing. The documentation is given. And now, if you download the ThinkCraft app, it's way more easier because everything is just given there. You don't have to go to the description, click and all. There are a lot of tasks, questions, answer in the ThinkCraft app. You can join the waitlist. It's coming pretty soon. I'll tell you guys more about it later. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to know how to get the APIs for each of these platforms, right? So that is all in the description as well. And from my side, that is what APIs are. And the next half of this video is going to be about webhooks. Now what webhooks are is the opposite of API. What do you mean? That is up to Ishan.
Now you have learned about API keys and you are on a certain level in AI automation. But now we are gonna learn about webhooks, and it's a very important part of our AI automation journey. I have seen on the internet people have made it too much complicated, but in the next 5 minutes I would be teaching you it in the most simplest way possible. So are you ready? Okay, just imagine your N10 workflow lives inside a house just like all of us, and it's introvert. Now it doesn't know what's happening outside, like what people are doing, what other applications are sending, what websites are doing, and that's why it's disconnected. Now your webhook is like a doorbell. Whenever some application or website sends some data or information, it automatically activates or wakes up your AI automation. Now let me tell you some real world use cases of webhook. For example, on your website you made a form that whenever user fills the form, your automation inside N10 activates and it sends a mail to them. Now there are two ways to do so. First one is your team checks it 30, 50, 60 times a day and manually activates the workflow. Other hand, you can use webhook, so automatically whenever user fills the form, a mail goes to them. Now I'm pretty sure that you are attending this session, so you are not dumb enough and you would go for the second way. Here are some examples where you would be using webhook again and again while making automations. So number one, when you attach Razorpay to your automation, whenever user pays, directly your automation wakes up and it sends the mail to your customer. Secondly, if you're using a website like form and whenever the user fills a form on your website, the workflow automatically triggers and it sends a welcome message to your user. Now these all are the use cases where you will be using webhooks again and again, and there are a lot more. Now let me take you to the computer screen and show how you can actually access webhook in N10. So let's hop into the screen. To access webhook in the N10, first of all, open N10 and click on create workflow. Now simply you can click on the plus icon and type webhook, or you can see it on a webhook call. Click on this and now something like this would be visible. There are two ways: test URL and production URL. So test URL is where you are testing it while developing the AI automation and it's in the testing phase. While when you shift it to the production URL, you are going mainstream, like all the people can use it. So keep in mind, when you're testing it, shift it to the test URL. But while you are about to make it live, shift it to the production URL. Now, here you can see HTTP method. Now, there are two important methods which you will be using while accessing N10. One is GET and another is POST. Now, let me real quick tell what is the difference between these two. Imagine a situation where you go to a restaurant and ask for the menu. Now, you just want to see the menu. Similarly, when you make a GET request, you just want to see the data or any information on a particular website or web page, and you are not sending or receiving any data. On the other hand, when you make the POST request, you just simply ask for some data, like you order food or pasta or anything in a restaurant where you receive a data back. So here is how it was a quick difference between GET and POST methods, and honestly you don't need to get into too much technicality of this. You will find it later when you will develop automations again and again. Finally, all the theory part is over and we all are excited for the practicals. You know, I'm that guy who doesn't love theory anymore and I'm more on the practical side. I also get bored when someone teaches me XYZ of something and I don't know how to do this. So let's hop into something and I'm gonna teach you about connectors which you will be using in your day-to-day life, and they are super helpful. So for connectors, you simply have to go to Claude and let me show you how to do this. First of all, come to the Google and search for Claude. Now open Claude and now here you will get connectors. Just click on this customize icon and select on connectors. Now Claude has all the connectors which you will be using in your day-to-day life, like Spotify, Canva, Figma, and you can directly do work there by just prompting. So simply click on browse connectors and now you have all the connectors here. You can filter by your use case, sort by popular, trending, new, alphabetical. But let me real quick tell you all the top 3 connectors which all of you guys, whether you are a startup founder, student, or a working professional, would be using, and you can browse it when you are free. Now, the number 1 connector is of Canva. So basically, by using this Canvas connector, you can browse, summarize, autofill, and even generate Canva designs directly inside Claude. So let me give you example of this. So I simply go to Claude and type, "Hey Claude, can you connect a poster using my Canva account for a Gen Z event related to AI and AI automation? Make sure to make this design very good." Now you would be asking that, "Hey Ishan, like how is it different from me creating an image in Gemini?" So hear me out. Basically, now Claude is using your Canva account to create this, so you can edit it in the future by going to your Canva account. Now it started doing this. You can see it's creating a bold Gen Z style AI event poster for using your Canva, by using your Canva. Let's move on to our second connector, and it's Spotify. It's too fun, and let me tell you how does it work. So basically, using Spotify connector, you can tell Claude to connect your account, and now it can make playlist, play songs according to what you wanna listen. So first of all, you have to go to customize connectors and search for Spotify. I'm gonna quickly search for Spotify. Click on this and install this app script. After you click on install, simply it will ask you to connect your account. You can do this. I'm clicking on configure. It's like working, it will work, and now I can simply go to chat and ask for it. So I'm shifting to chat, and now I'm like, "Hey Claude, can you go to my Spotify account and make a playlist for energetic songs for me, which I wanna do while I gym." So I just shoot it off and let's see what it does. So it's working, and now it will come up with some bunch of questions, I think, because it's our first time. So as I have told you how you can connect your Canva account, your Figma account, your Gmail, Sheets, and a lot more AI tools, the methods of Webhook, how does Webhook work, and where we can use it in anything. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.
Before you leave, click on the link in the description and submit the projects which you are building, because on June 6th, we will actually be presenting it to millions of people on my Instagram, and me and Ishan will also give you feedbacks on it on June 6th on a live video. Yes, even though these are pre-recorded, live video is happening on June 6th, but make sure your projects are based on what we are teaching you to. We are doing this for free, guys. Also, do you know another thing which is completely free? The ThinkCraft app. If you want to learn more about AI for students, AI for businesses, things like that, imagine Duolingo, but to learn AI with gifts and how I teach. Check out the ThinkCraft app because it's completely free and it's on Play Store too. That link is also in the description and the comments. And if you join our WhatsApp channel, all the links are there too, guys. Okay, bye for now. Join tomorrow, okay? Join.